Hello and welcome to the first ever edition of the Motor's Mouth podcast. Now this is something a little bit different than our usual content, delving more into the behind the scenes goings on at the club as well as what you're used to with the first team action. As ever, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Steve Hilton. Steve, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. Looking forward to doing these throughout the season. A bit of different content. Should be good. Good fun.
And although I introduced it, Steve, this was your brainchild, so tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, I think it was at the Stockport County game, the Cheshire Cup last season. I thought, what can we do something a bit different to highlight more of the club rather than just concentrating the first team. So although there's going to be a lot of content on the first team, the games, and we're going to have some mini goal of the month and play of the month competitions, we're going to get some of the kids involved. We're going to review some of the junior teams, the West Cheshire Reserve, the under-21s, which is going to a new league this season. So we're going to do more of an inclusive look at the whole club as well as the first team as well.
Well, we're going to start this first ever show of the Motor's Mouth podcast talking about pre-season and the first team building up to their new season. So Steve, the first team spent their pre-season gearing up for the new season. What will they be looking at? Will they be prioritising fitness, or will it be shape and hitting the ground running?
I think fitness, and I was at the first session. I think the first drill he'd done was a bleep test, which is never the nicest thing to do, but it's a good gauge to see how fit you are. So I've seen we'll do a lot more fitness work. Priorities is going to be fitness, getting people be on holiday and enjoying themselves and whatever. So fitness is key. Then they'll build up during the games. Mick will start to get a bit of a feeling of what's his best 11. We've got new players coming in, players going out, so we want to embed them new players in. All to be ready for Saturday's game.
Give us your perspective of pre-season. How did you see it? Did you look forward to doing it?
My first pre-season at Doncaster Rovers, we're going back 18 years now, no longer than that, 1984, 28 years. We had our coach was a fitness fanatic, so I think the first 2 weeks we didn't see a ball. I think it's just slightly different now. You do a lot of ball work, and that ball, yeah, we used to get a shout out, get your flats on, boys, you're running today. It's hard work. A lot of these players now will keep themselves pretty fit throughout the close season. But I used to love going back, especially Vauxhalls with a great set of lads. I used to love going back to pre-season, just for the banter, seeing the lads, seeing what people have been up to, get your holiday stories, and you get back at it, and it's what you love to do. So yeah, I used to really look forward to it, but like I say, it can be hard, but you only get a way put in. You've got to get your fitness, you've got to be ready for that first game of the season. You want to hit the ground running and start off as well as you can.
Gone are the days of running up and down sand dunes.
Well, yeah, I've done that as well at Marina. That's hard work, but luckily there's no sand dunes around here, so the lads have got away with it. But yeah, he's done a lot. I've noticed an increase in the fitness work. Now, we lost a couple of games later on. I remember the Vars. There was another game with Bearscough, we lost 2 late goals. So whether that's lack of concentration or fitness, I think Mick's tried to instill a bit more fitness in it. So if that is the case, you can see these games right through to the 95th minute and not more points on the table.
And there's impressive facilities here at the Van Eupen Arena, so the players are in the best position to get their fitness up and really get to the top of their game.
Yeah, we're blessed in a way. We've got the 2 artificial pitches out there with the main pitch here, which is fantastic. For the level, I think the facilities are second to none. So you go to some teams and they're playing on bogs and pitches, and the grasses are being cut or they're going hard drive, but we've got the astroturf there, which is great for the players to come in and have a good go at pre-season. So if you don't want to come in and play football, there's something wrong with you. Like I say, the facilities are second to none in the standard.
Well, the Motors have been in action pre-season. They've had 7 pre-season games, playing a variety of teams really. They started off at Widnes, playing the likes of Ashton and Marine, Colwyn Bay, Ruthin. They had a rearranged fixture with Mould due to the heat wave, and then finished off with a 3-0 win at Camelaird. Steve, what is it like playing teams in pre-season? Is it more important to get the win, or is it just a fitness case?
I think it's a bit of both. I think I never wanted to lose. You know, even the training game for Thursday night, I didn't want to lose. So I think a lot of players would be like that. You don't want to lose. You know, you play pool in the pub and with your mates and stuff like that. I didn't want to lose. That was that
just
competitive side
get
of
that
me.
winning habit.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with. I mean, it is about fitness pre-season. It's about Mick getting to know his first 11, embedding the new players, like I said. But I think there's nothing better than winning games. It's a great habit to get into, and it will hurt if you lose a game pre-season. It'll hurt the lads. If it doesn't hurt, there's something wrong with them. You want to win every game. So winning is a good. Getting that good mentality of winning. It's not a bad thing. But I think, you know, from obviously fitness side, you know, everyone getting minutes on the pitch and better themselves and new signings, and that is important as well. But you know, I never like to lose a game pre-season or not pre-season.
And they played a variety of teams in pre-season. Do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage to play teams that are not in your league?
Well, obviously we played, you know, Witness, League Above, Marine, a couple of leagues above now. So it's good to, that's where we inevitably want to get to them levels. So it's good to, I think it's a good marker to see where you're at. You know, we give Marine more than a game, give Witness a thrashing first game pre-season. So I think it's good to play different teams, higher teams, because it's, you know, obviously the better quality players, and it shows you where you're at. And again, it's, you know, it's a great morale boost if you go and beat these teams in high divisions. And
they finished off with a convincing 3-0 win in the A41 derby against Leeds.
Yeah, it was good results. Really hot day. Pitch was bone dry, like straw. But yeah, it was a battle. First 45 minutes of the battle. I think we controlled the game very well. And we were down towards the end with a couple of late goals as well. But for all these battles against Cavaliers, I mean, we owed them one because we've done us in the Macron Cup, wasn't it? Back in the last season, late on as well. I got another late goal. So it was good to get a bit of payback there away from home, and great way to round off the end of pre-season.
So as Steve said, that rounded off pre-season, goal gearing up towards the first game of the season on Saturday against Kendal Town here at the Van Eupen Arena. Focusing more on behind the scenes goings on at the club now, we spoke to Director of Football Matty Mowat about the state of the club and what actually goes on around here. Okay, we're joined by Matty. Matty, give us an outline of your role at the club.
Okay, so I'm the Director of Football here. Something I've been involved in now for 2 years. First year obviously was a learning curve, just to get a little bit of feel about the club, the people around the club, people involved in the club, and obviously this year we're pushed on with regards to making sure we get more sponsorships in, like for yourselves, the first team, the reserves, the under 21s, which is this year. So it's kind of it's stepped up kind of a good couple of gears from what it was last season, you know.
So how does a non-league football team operate?
It's hard really to be honest, because it's still a grassroots football, so we've still got to kind of fund it ourselves to a certain degree. Again, go back to before, we've got to make sure that we get the sponsorships in, to make sure obviously all the first team are all kitted out right and they all look good and professional, and they're not turning up to games kind of just in their own stuff. And that again kind of mirrors kind of all underneath to make sure that the reserves, the youth, under 21s are all the same, and also all the younger ones. But it's also to make sure that they've got something to look up to with regards to the first, that it's the young kind of kids and the girls as well. See the first, that they know that kind of, you know, wow, it's a kind of a little bit of a celebrity as well, you know, with regards to the first, they are the forefront of it.
So you've mentioned some of the lower age group teams, obviously the first team get more of the coverage as it were. Yeah. Just how many teams are there roughly?
I can't put a number on it per se, but you're looking, you know, over 100 teams, I would say, mixed from under sixes all the way up. Some teams have 2 or 3 teams, you know, to each manager, each age group, and it's growing and growing every season. Some teams leave, other teams come in. There's teams out there that want to be part of it so much, but we just can't fit them in at this moment in time. And I think kind of we rejected quite a couple of teams who wanted to come in from the will, you know, as well, but we just couldn't accommodate with regards to pitch slots, allocation, and as I said, you don't want like loads of age groups all in one league, so you've got to think about that as well.
Is that a sign of the club being successful?
Yeah, it is. Vauxhall Motors Football Club has always been kind of on the map, if you wish to say. People want to come here. You know, we've got the facilities. I think we are the only UK football club that has 2 Astros. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've kind of I've heard and seen. So everyone wants to be. You've got the pitch, the main pitch. You know, you've got Rivercar Road. You've still got 2 pitches over there. You know, we're massive kind of facilities wise, and people like to come here and want to come here.
Is that what you would say to parents who potentially want to bring their kids in?
Yeah.
Facilities essentially.
Yeah, you know, because as I said, your training's always going to be on through wind, rain, and snow because you're on the Astro. You've got, obviously, as I said, grass pitches, but we still accommodate the younger ones, if you wish to say, to go on the Astro. So yeah, I can't speak highly of Vauxhall's because it's somewhere that, in my opinion, being a director of football, why wouldn't you want to come here? So instead of the question being, would you recommend, the question should be, why wouldn't you want to come here?
Just going back to the first team, you've been as high as the what are the short term and long term aims of the first team?
Well, we always want to kind of push on as high as possible, but you've got to take into account budget as well. You've got to take into account kind of, have we got the balance of, you know, we don't want to run before we can walk at the end of the day. We've got to take every game into the season as it comes. But I'm sure if you speak to Mick, being the first team manager, his kind of vision is to keep going higher and higher, but obviously we need the back.
From your perspective, what's the priority? Include FA Cup run,
FA Cup run attracts money, attracts fans, attracts different teams in and around the leagues, so it's a good test for you, at the same time. But for me, I would say kind of going higher and higher through the league, because that's where we belong. We belong higher and higher in the league, not kind of where we are. Again, that's my opinion, but I think going higher and higher, you know, some people have been here who's played at the higher league, and I think, again, in my opinion, that's where we should be.
Finally, I'm going to put you on the spot. Will we be playing more than league football?
Listen, I won't say yes and I won't say no. You know, he's got some good players around him. He's got some good staff around him. You know, he's got good facilities around him. This league is kind of whoever wants it more. You've got the likes of Berry and Kendall, Withenshaw coming in. You know, they can all drop points as well as we can sneak and nick points off them. So it is just a case of.
So you heard it there from Matty. The state of Vauxhall Motors is looking very good, and the club's in good hands for the future. Now we talk to a new signing for the club, Aaron Dawson, former Exeter City and Torquay United midfielder, and he talked to us about his moves to the club and what we can expect from him this season.
Following on from that interview, we're going to be introducing 2 of our mini motors, and Aaron Dawson's going to face the grueling 20 question challenge from our mini motors. There's a few curveballs in there, so let's see how we get on.
Aaron, welcome to Vauxhall Motors. How does it feel to have signed on the dotted line?
Yeah, it's good. I've relocated to the area, so finding the club was sort of what I was looking to do. I used to play with Joe Heath many years ago, 10 years ago now, so when he got in contact I come and looked at the facilities and had to get myself fit in pre-season, but I've been really impressed with the club. The lads are great, so can't wait to get going really.
So was it that connection with Joe that was like the clincher?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it's been a long time since we spoke, but I know how Joe operates. He's a professional, serious guy, so I wanted to join a club where sort of that was replicated, and I can definitely see here it's very professional.
For fans who might not be aware, what position do you play and how would you describe your playing style?
I play centre midfield, more defensive role, sort of break up play and sort of try and feed the players that can hurt the opposition offensively, so breaking up play and giving it easy really.
You must just be looking forward to getting stuck in with the team now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had some good pre-season games, we've worked really hard fitness-wise, so yeah, we should be raring to go.
The team had a relatively successful season last season. What do you think the team can achieve this season?
I think, let's say I don't know the league, but the way the guys are talking and how they've done last year, we wasn't a million miles away from sort of where we want to be. So give it a right good go and see if we can ultimately get promoted, I imagine.
And personally, do you have any targets for this season?
Just play as many games as I can, and like you say, chip in with a few goals, and just have a consistent season really.
Well, Aaron, all the best for the season. Thanks for joining us.
What position do you play?
Centre midfield.
Are you any good?
Oh, I don't know. A few people, many years ago, but not so quite good now. As you get a little bit older, it gets difficult.
What's your nickname?
North, but I've had a new one. From down south, everyone's calling me Adler up here. That must be a bit of a scout thing, but usually North.
Do you have a bird?
I do. I'm married, and she has a go at me for calling her bird. So
Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
100%. Yeah, it's a myth. Do you not agree? 100%. I had one last week actually. I loved it.
Messi or
Not Messi. Got me Messi. If anyone says I'm a Messi, you're kidding yourself.
Are Jaffa cakes biscuits or cakes?
Please with the name in it. Got to be a Jaffa cake, surely.
Would you go for a bedding with Boris Johnson?
No, never.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I'm quite slow player, so I'd probably like to be something a bit quicker, like a cheetah, something like that.
Do animals could talk?
Got me a monkey, I reckon.
Why do round pizzas come in square boxes?
Never thought of that. It's a great question. No idea.
Who's your side to support?
Chelsea.
What's the idea?
Don't mind a little bit of Wimbledon. Not a big fan of golf. Mainly football.
Do you think fish get thirsty?
Never thought about it. Some great questions here. Probably not. Going on stag do, actually. Rather stag do is Benidorm, which is, for the record, definitely not my favourite. Caribbean.
What's your favourite food?
I love pasta. Abroad.
Do you like the gaffer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him too well, but he seems like a good chap.
Best footballing moment?
That would have been making my debut for Exeter in League One away at Liverpool.
Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I've got 2 Shih Tzu dogs. They're both nightmares who wee everywhere. They're 7 and 8 years old, so they shouldn't be doing that now. But 2 Shih Tzus.
What car do you drive?
A BMW 3 Series. Recruitment, so I recruit people for construction sites.
Are you any good at
Average.
Are you a red or
Oh, I'm a Leeds fan. Yeah, I'm a Lever, so I'm a Leeds fan. All my missus' family, they're all blue. No, you're right. Yeah, nobody's perfect.
So the Motors kicked off the 2022-23 season at home here at the Van Eupen Arena to Kendal Town. Now, Steve, the Motors wanted to make a really good start in this season, and that's exactly what they got.
Yeah, it was. It was a great performance, and we lost opening game last season to AFC Liverpool. So I've always said that when I played, you'd want to go as long into the season you can with L as a 0. You don't want to lose your first game. It's not a nice feeling. So I used to always gauge it. Could we get to 7-8 games with 5 wins and 2 draws and keep the losses to 0? But I thought we played really, really well. Sabu, man of the match, was fantastic on his debut for the club. Jordan Deere come back into the team. He looked really, really well. Defensively, we looked really solid as well. The new goalkeeper, he looks like he's got great distribution, talks really well. Mick McGrath's going to be absolutely made up with the start we've got, especially against the Kendal team that have come down. So they were playing the league above last season. First 10 minutes there, the left wing with the 11 looked like he was going to cause some problems, but Ethan Goldblum got to got his bearings with him, and you know, after a tricky 10-minute start, he going into his own and had a fantastic game as well, Ethan.
Well, it was a 2-0 victory for the Motors. Goals from Lewis Buckley in the first half and a second half effort from Ethan Goldborn. And in true Steve, that flattered Kendall.
Yeah, I think we could and probably should have scored more. I think we were refused a blatant penalty when Ethan Goldborn's gone down in the second half. The referees booked him for diving, or he told him off for diving, and he got booked for it or not. But I know Ethan had a bit of a go at the referee first half, so I actually said to some people, any other player, there's probably a penalty, and the referees give a bit of payback to Ethan for giving him a bit of stick in the first half. But
it's a good test of his character to get up from that and then score him in.
He was bowling down that right wing goal second half. It was a great outlet. You know, he's started and finished off the goal, and he's had a great start to the season. Really good player.
We had some impressive debuts, as you mentioned, the goalkeeper James McClenaghan, Sabu Smith, and Lewis Buckley. They all hit the ground running.
Yeah, also goalkeeper James has come in late. You know, last season we had the Ryan Crump work commitments drop out after the first league game. You know, to keep position. Damien Eastman again work commitments. So James has come in. He looks settled. He looks like a, you know, when he warms up properly. You know, I know Neil, the goalkeeper coach, speaks highly of him. He looks like he's got a great kick on him, talks really well. And I think the back four seems settled with that. They seem like a really relaxed back four. So that's a really good quick going to the season. We get, you know, a settle. I think we used, was it 4 or 5 goalkeepers last season? And it's one of the positions where you want to be as settled as you can. So hopefully James can keep on coming on, and you know, bring great things this season.
Give us your perspective as a former goalkeeper. Would he have enjoyed having a relatively quiet game, or would he have wanted to get his hand on the ball as much as possible?
Yeah, I mean, he'll take the clean sheet all day long. You do want to. You want to pull that worldy save off and all that, but at the end of the day, the 3 points is what's important. There'll be times in the season where he'll pull us out. You know, I've got no doubt about it. He'll make these saves that win his games or get us a point away from home. So it'll come for him. But I mean, what he needed to do and had to do, he done very well. So he'd be, you know, it's a great confidence booster. That clean sheet, home debut, 3 points in the league, great start.
Perfect start for the new keeper, and there was some interesting combinations in the game. Buckley and Berkey linked up really well. Dia was controlling just behind, and then there was Sabu Smith and Goldborn linked up really well that way. That's some good connections already. Yeah,
Sabu he looked really good. Again, debut. Jordan Dia, he linked up with Buckley really well. You know, it's just, I think we looked like just a new lease of life up front. It was probably, you know, totally different to what we started with last season, 2 injuries or whatever, but looked really promising. The first goal was really well worked. You know, great ball in. He's Buckley's at the far post to scoring his debut. But like I say, you know, he could have been 3, 4, 5-0 against, you know, a good team who've come down. So got a tough one Thursday, and then straight into the FA Cup Saturday. So, you know, we get on away with it lower Breck. We had a fantastic result at Isle of Man that went down to 9 men after 23 minutes. We get 6 points on the board after 2 games and go in, confidence massively high for that all-important FA Cup game on Saturday.
So a great first game for the Motors. Let's hear what the manager Mick McGraa thinks of that. Mick, 2-0 win to start the season. Doesn't get much better than that, surely.
No, we're buzzing in the changing room. Thought we were good for it. Thought really good. Tempo was good. With the ball, thought we were excellent. And 2 really good goals. Could have been 3 or 4 in the end, you know. But fair play to Kendall. They are a good side. They're going to, you know, shock a few this year. And I think they'll be up and around there, to be honest.
Seem to do well to quell their threat on the left-hand side with Stephen Dawson.
Yeah, he's a quality player, isn't he? But you know, we've got a great right back in Ethan Goldborn, who scored as well today, to be fair. I just thought we were just better all over the pitch. We were on it today, and the tempo we set from where it go, it was excellent.
A lot of good partnerships from today as well, like Goldborn and Smith and Berkey and Buckley.
Yeah, well, obviously down both sides. That's where we've been strong for the last couple of years, and obviously we brought Sabu in. I thought after his first 15 minutes, he grew into the game. He was a major threat. Berkey's Berkey, isn't he? He's really good. But Lewis Buckley, you know, we've had nines in the past, but nothing of like he's an animal. I think he's big, strong, physical, really good on the floor. Took his goal really well. I mean, great move. Yeah, just a really happy day for us.
How important is it to just set that foundation on the first day? What does that give you for the next couple of weeks?
Obviously, yeah, you winning's a good mentality to be in, and you know we lost last season to Liverpool, which then set a little bit of a precedent. We lost a few games, so hopefully, you know, we've got a tough game Thursday night against Lower Breck, and then we've got to go again on the Saturday in FA Cup. So yeah, it's a tough week coming up.
Well, thanks, Mick. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, mate.
So that's almost it for this first edition of the Mowat podcast. Next month, we'll be introducing our Player of the Month and Goal of the Month competitions.
We'll also be talking to right back Ethan Goulburn on the start of the season, and Ethan will also be subject to our Mini Motors 20-second challenge, so let's see how he gets on.
We'll be speaking to John Waring, who'll give us a further update on the state of the club and find out what's happening in the first month of the season.
And also we'll be introducing our new Legends Talk, where I'll be interviewing players from the past. Our first guest on the show will be Greg Blundell, ex-Tranmere, come to Vauxhall, spent great years at Vauxhall, winning the North West Counties League Cup, Floodlit Cup, before moving on to North Victoria and then going on to play professional for several years. So really looking forward to speak to Greg and having a good catch up with him.
And I'm sure plenty more for you to enjoy. Thank you for joining us on this show. Thank you, Steve, for kicking us off today. And we'll see you next month on the Motors Mouth podcast. Up the Motors.